Are you ready to go? Are you ready to start today's live stream? I hope you are, because it's a little bit different today. We have some different things happening, some lovely memories from the year that is about to come to an end. Yes, this is English Addict coming to you live from England. It's true. Oh, there you are. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope you are happy. I hope you are feeling good and jolly today. For those wondering why I still have my jingle bells playing in the background during the countdown, well, of course, for some people, Christmas hasn't arrived. It all depends on which calendar you happen to follow. Also, please excuse me, I am eating my breakfast. I'm still eating my breakfast. I've been so busy this morning preparing this. I haven't had time to eat, so I'm doing it now. So please excuse me. By the way, my name is Duncan. I talk about the English language. You might say that I am a fan of English, and you would be right. If you thought that, if you wake up in the morning and think, I think Mr. Duncan is an English addict, you would be 100% correct. So that is my introduction over with. Of course, we have someone else joining in today as well, because we are saying goodbye, goodbye to 2023. We are waving goodbye to this year. A new year is just around the corner. Are you excited for 2024? Do you have any plans? We are talking about New Year's resolutions today. Also, we're going to look at some lovely moments from the past year, and we have some nice memories to relive. So something a little bit different today. And of course, you have a chance to join in on the live chat. But here he is. Here is the guy that I like to sometimes do live streams with. Here he is. It is everyone's favourite co-host. It's Mr. Steve.
Hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello, wonderful, beautiful, attractive people who can talk English very well because of Mr. Duncan's streams all over the world. And I started 2024 by burning my fingers, Mr. Duncan.
Well, we haven't started yet.
Haven't we? Oh, we know, that's right. No, of course, it's tonight, isn't it? I'm getting mixed up with the days, Mr. Duncan. Been so busy. Busy. You've been busy in here preparing for the live stream. I've been busy upstairs doing spring cleaning. I call it spring cleaning, but I'm trying to sort out one room of the house which looks an absolute mess, a tip. It's where I do all my music practice, and it's the one room I've never sorted out. I'm trying to get it done by the end of this year so that it looks all neat and tidy. I've got a new table in there from my mum's house. I can put all things away. It's going to look nice and neat and tidy. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm feeling a little stressed, Mr. Duncan. A little stressed. A little on edge. I need to calm down.
Aren't you normally on edge and stressed?
Well, this is where we start talking about New Year resolutions, and I'm sure that we will touch on those later on and ask our viewers probably. I'll leave it up to you. I won't interfere with the flow of the live stream. But yes, may I say hello to everybody on the live stream. Giovanni wants to...
Steve?
Pardon?
Steve, just wait a moment. We haven't yet introduced the live chat. So we have to wait. There is a format.
Well, if you weren't eating...
Well, I'm just eating my breakfast.
To do that.
Look, Steve, you are now arguing with me. I'm not arguing with you.
But we're not really arguing, we're joking.
Can I first say congratulations to Beatrice, because Beatrice Hello, you were first on today's live chat. We have to do this in the correct way, you see, then some people might actually stay around and watch us. Ooh, that would be very nice. By the way, I haven't mentioned, please give us a like as well. If you like what you are watching right now on your computer device, and as long as it is my face that is in front of you, please give us a lovely like. It would be ever so nice if you could do that right now.
Yes, and don't forget what this does is it's not just a nice thing to do, but it helps Mr. Duncan's channel be seen by more people. And I know you're not selfish people. You don't want to keep this all to yourself. Just the cosy few that come on every week. We want Duncan's channel to expand in 2024.
I need new blood.
Liking really helps, so please like.
I need new blood.
Yes, we need. Yeah, that's it. You've got to always have young new blood coming in. It's the same with the choir I'm in, Mr. Duncan.
Okay.
It dies off if you don't have new people joining. And
that's good.
But anyway, Giovanni Rivetti. Did you notice I rolled my R's there? Rivetti. I can do it sometimes. Rivetti.
Okay, get on with it.
Wants to sit in an armchair like me, so you can come and join me if you like. You can sit on my knee, or maybe I'll sit on your knee.
Today, by the way, we have lots of memories to relive because we are coming towards the end. Maybe in Steve's world, it is already 2024. But
Mr. Duncan, can I interrupt you? Jimmy from Hong Kong says, if you carry on this live stream for 2 hours, we'll reach 2024 in Hong Kong.
Yes, well, that's what I'm planning to do. These are things that I'm going to say, you see, today. Because it is New Year's Eve, not New Year's Day, for those wondering, but for some it will be soon, New Year's Day. So we are going to stay as long as we can so we can share the new year with as many people as possible. Of course, it won't be ours. We have to wait a little bit longer before ours arrives. And I suppose it is worth mentioning that this year has been an interesting year for us, I suppose. It's been, I suppose I would describe it as bittersweet. That means that there have been nice things and also not so nice things. So it has been an interesting year. I think it's been really weird, Steve, this year, because we have done a lot of things and a lot of personal things have also happened to us. Some of them great, some of them pleasant, and some of them not very pleasant, unfortunately. I suppose I should mention straight away, in March, we sadly lost my mum. My mum sadly died in March, and that was a big shock. Not the easiest thing to deal with. We also had some nice moments as well, Steve, didn't we? We had a little bit of fun with some of our viewers, didn't we?
We did. We had great fun in Paris, and I'm going to sneeze. I'm trying to stop it. This always usually works. It has worked, Mr. Duncan. Oh no, it's coming back again. Yes, we had some lovely moments. That was a very special moment. That was probably one of the highlights of our life. I don't know about 2023.
Oh dear.
But meeting up with some of your lovely viewers, which we're going to have a re-look at, was a very special moment for 2023. And we're trying to arrange something for 2024, but we haven't got any details on that yet.
No, not yet. It's a bit early to start planning trips for next year, but we are hoping, aren't we? We are hoping that there will be some sort of rendezvous taking place next year. Nothing has been planned yet, but I would imagine it will be around about the same time as the one this year, if I was honest with you.
If it turns New Year and you are watching us while we are on, please let us know. I saw a message from, can't remember who it was now, Japan, 45 minutes, well less than that now, 42 minutes. It will be New Year in Japan. So tell us if you're on, which would be incredible anyway, that you're watching us as we cross into the new year. That alone is an incredible thing. Then please let us know.
Yes.
And we can celebrate in style as you all cross the new year.
Okay. Now, we mentioned the Paris Rendezvous, and I'm going to show you just a taster, first of all, of what we got up to whilst we were there. So we were there for a few days and we had a wonderful time. I can't actually say how much I enjoyed Paris, because I really, really did enjoy lots of the sights and also the sounds as well. So it was pretty good. I will be honest with you, it was a pretty good time. Everyone had lots of fun, and I thought we would have a little bit of a taste, Mr. Steve, of what happened whilst we were there way back in June. And there it was, our Paris Rendezvous. We are going to have a look at some clips from that a little bit later on, in fact. Mr. Steve and myself, we are here on New Year's Eve 2023. A new year is just around the corner. One or two people will be celebrating the arrival of the new year whilst we are on. So if you are going to be one of those who will see in 2024 whilst we are live, please let us know and we will send you some special fireworks. How was that sound? I think it sounds lovely, to be honest. Mr. Steve.
That's me.
What about your year, Mr. Steve?
Well, again, it's been, every year's different, isn't it? And that's the good thing about life, is that it's great actually if it's not the same all the time. Every year's different. Sadly, lost quite a few friends this year. Two very good friends of mine have departed this world. And they're the same age as me. So when that starts to happen as you get older, Mr. Duncan, I don't want to be too maudling. There's a good word for you, maudling. It just means just sort of sad, doesn't it? Maudling. Thinking probably too much about the past in a rather sort of negative, depressing way. maudling. But I'm not being maudling, but I'm just saying, when you start to get older and people of your age start to die, it gets a little worrying.
Happy New Year.
So, Happy New Year. But anyway, yes. So, yes, that, the lovely meet-up in June in Paris, starting a new job for the first time in 26 years. So that was quite a big thing for me.
Well, you were working before then, but not the gap wasn't 26 years.
Yes, I meant I hadn't worked for a different company for 26 years.
Yes, it.
So it's actually only it's only the fourth job I've ever had in my life.
So it's interesting to note that Steve did retire for a short time, but then you got a little bit restless and you thought, no, I'm not ready for retirement just yet. So you decided to carry on. You decided to go back to work. And I think, I'm going to be honest with you, I think it is probably a thing that you are enjoying, and I don't think you were ready to retire, if I was honest with you.
I wasn't quite ready. I never wanted to leave. I'll know when I'm ready. At the moment, no. But maybe, I don't know, next year or the year after, depending on if they want me to stay, of course. They may.
They might not like you.
They may decide that they don't want me. My 6 months probationary period, we have a 6-month probationary period in the UK when employees can just say goodbye with no consequences to them, is up on the 2nd of January. So I may go back to work on Tuesday, and they may, I might get a message saying, well, thanks for the last 6 months, but we don't want you. Bye-bye.
Yes, you're rubbish.
I'm hoping that won't happen, but it'll be an interesting start to 2024 if that does happen.
Okay, anyway, that's good. I'm glad, Mr. Steve, you are happy in your new job. Your job is going well. The year has been strange. We've had some weird things happen. Not only did we go to Paris, but also we had some strange incidents whilst there. We actually met someone, two of our students who watch, but they didn't know we were in Paris, and they accidentally bumped into us, and that was amazing. I have to say, of all the things that have happened this year, I think accidentally meeting two of your viewers randomly,
yes,
whilst we were all in the same place. So they weren't even coming for the rendezvous. They just happened to be in Paris. I have to say, I thought that was quite amazing. So I was recognised, and also on the metro as well, someone recognised me. But they were too shy to say hello. Don't forget, don't be shy. Never be shy. If you see me around, say, are you Mr. Duncan? And I will say, leave me alone. No, not really. But you know what I mean. Don't be shy, give it a try, or else you will make Mr. Duncan cry. We have lots of people joining us today on the live chat. We have, of course, Luis Mendez is here today. We also have Christina. Vitas is here as well, Mr. Steve. We have Saturino. We have Mosen. And we have, who else is here? Zudzika, Rosa,
Marcia, Mosen.
If it is your first time, by the way, here, if you have found us and you were not intending to watch this, please let me know. So if you are new, please say, hello, Mr. Duncan, I am new. And then we will say hello to you as well. Isn't that lovely?
Have you seen the special little thing from Palmyra?
I haven't.
Look up a bit, Mr. Duncan, on a green. Palmyra has given you a nice little donation. Today. So thank you very much for that, Palmyra. It's difficult for Mr. Duncan to follow the live chat always. That's my job.
Oh, yes.
So I've spotted that.
Thank you, Palmyra. It's nice to know that Steve is doing his job as well. Very well. Thank you, Palmyra, for your lovely super sticker. And if you want to send a super sticker, you are more then welcome to do so. It's a pleasure to be here every Sunday, and 2024 will be the same. We will be here every Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. So I suppose we should say that things will not be changing at this point. And during the new year, we will be here with you. Isn't it amazing? So every Sunday you can join us with this from 2 p.m. UK time. So we've done a lot of things this year, and I suppose another thing we did, and something that we are, by the way, going to talk about Christmas presents in a few moments. And this is kind of leading into it. So we had a very nice time. We went away to a place very close to where we live called West Midlands Safari Park. And we had a rather nice time there doing some filming and looking at many of the wild animals. And then after this, we are going to talk about our Christmas gifts. What did I buy for Mr. Steve? And what did Steve buy for me? More of that coming a little bit later on. But now we have something very important to talk about, Mr. Steve, because, of course, last week it was Christmas Eve this time last week, and then, of course, the following day we all celebrated Christmas Day. We had a very relaxing, I have to say, I would describe it as a relaxing Christmas Day. We had a lovely meal. Mr. Steve, once again, you made the most amazing Christmas meal. But of course, the most important thing about Christmas Day is the presents.
Can I tell a funny quick story about the turkey?
Okay.
Mr. Duncan, because, we were cooking the turkey, and when you buy the turkeys in the UK, normally inside the cavity, they put the neck and the giblets.
So actually, inside the bird,
they put the neck inside, and the giblets, which are the offal, which is the
organs
of the body, like the liver and the kidneys. and those are used to make the gravy. You boil them up and make the gravy.
Mm-hmm.
But you must remember to take them out. You're not supposed to cook the turkey with these inside.
Oh, well.
For obvious reasons.
Well,
and anyway,
first of all, it's in a plastic bag.
Yeah, So we were cooking the turkey. I saw the neck and I took the neck out, had a look, couldn't see anything else. And only discovered after we'd been eating the turkey for 2 days. And we wondered what the strange plastic smell was when it was cooking. Turned out I left the giblets inside the bird in this plastic bag, and it was cooked inside.
But the worst part was the plastic bag was still inside the turkey as well.
Yes.
So Steve was cooking the turkey and also melting some lovely plastic
We
inside.
could smell it. I thought, well, I've taken everything out. That's a very bad mistake. Luckily, we weren't ill. We were fine. And, I don't know if any plastics got into our joints, but we'll have to see.
Well, that might be a good thing. That might be a good thing, having silicone or some sort of plastic inside your joints. It might make them a bit stronger. We may have come across a new treatment for joint pain. just eat plastic vapor.
Can I say hello to Bella?
Okay, Steve.
While we're on, Bella says, I am old. I'm one of your oldest fans, says Bella. Although I don't appear on the live chat very much. Well, that's good. You see, we do know that lots of people watch us and they don't necessarily want to write things in the chat, and that's absolutely fine. But it's good to see you, Bella, and to know that you're still watching us, and you've communicated with us, and we can tell everyone. So thanks very much for that. So you say you're old. Do you want to give your age away? I know you should never ask the age of a lady.
No, well, you shouldn't.
But I just want to see if you're older than Lewis.
Well, don't ask.
But anyway, and somebody who I haven't seen before, Crikoi or Crikoi Stories. Have we heard of this person, Mr. Duncan? Are you new on here? Says, hola, buenos dias. So I don't remember seeing your name before, but welcome to you as well.
By the way, cavity means a space inside something, a hollow space. So, for example, the turkey inside has a hollow space, and inside there was the plastic bag inside with all of the internal organs of the turkey, and Mr. Steve cooked the plastic bag as well as the turkey. So for those wondering what cavity means, it is an empty hollow space. Sometimes you might get cavities or one cavity inside your teeth. One tooth might start to rot on the inside and you will get a cavity. Anyway, Steve, last Monday it was Christmas Day, and I have to say we had a nice time. And here we are today with you to show you all of our presents. I just made that up. I could be a songwriter, I think so. So, Mr. Steve, I bought something for you and you bought something for me. First of all, I will show what Mr. Steve bought for me. One thing, first of all, the first thing. And as you know, I always like useful things. And Mr. Steve bought me a lovely smart pair of loose jogging trousers, and these are things I can wear sometimes when I go out for walks and also in the house when I'm feeling exceptionally lazy. So this is one of the things I always like, useful gifts. And you are similar, aren't you, Steve?
Yes, it's always been a tradition when I was growing up in our family to buy things that you could use rather than things which you probably... It was always tradition to buy things for somebody that you knew they wanted. I suppose that is probably for a lot of people, but sometimes you get just random gifts from people, don't you? And you might not necessarily use them, and you think, oh, that's a bit of a waste. But yeah, so something that you know the person is going to use, or you know that they probably do want it, or they've even asked for it.
The word I wanted to use, Steve, was frivolous.
Yes.
Something frivolous. Something that has no meaning or use. It is something that might not even have any meaning to the person you are giving it to. It is something just frivolous and unimportant. Something that might not be remembered even. Frivolous. I like that word.
I don't like buying things anyway. I don't like buying things that aren't going to be used because it just seems like a waste.
What about you, Mr. Steve? What did I buy you? Show one of the gifts.
I don't remember. Did you buy me anything? I don't remember, Mr. Duncan.
I did.
Oh, yes, I remember, yes.
First of all, the thing you can hang on your wall.
The thing I can hang on my wall, yes. Well, there we go. This is, as you all know, I am a great fan of the Ford Mustang car. So Mr. Duncan has bought me this lovely... There we go. There's the lovely calendar for 2024 that I can hang on my... Oh, I can't open it.
Just turn it. Just show us the back.
There we go.
There we go.
So for every month of the year, I can turn this over. And Mr. Duncan has bought me this probably for the last 3 years. And January, February, March, etc. A new car, a new view of the Ford Mustang every year. By the way, a Ford Mustang is not an SUV, an electric SUV that Ford has slapped for marketing reasons the Ford Mustang name on. It is only a 2-door coupe with a big engine at the front.
Yeah. Now that is that is the interesting thing, isn't it, Steve? With that particular car, is there is a current version that is an SUV, and they're trying to. I think they're just trying to get the market to move towards that new car. Even though, to be honest, that is the classic. And of all the ones on the back, Steve, which one is your favourite?
Well, actually, that's my favourite because it's the model. No, it isn't. Let's have a look. The current model is probably that one there.
Ah.
That's probably the current model. That's my favourite.
Very nice.
So, yes, the Ford Mustang dates back to 1960-something.
Oh.
When they first brought it. It's always been a 2-door sports sort of GT coupe type car.
Would it be fair to describe it as a muscle car?
It's a muscle car, definitely. The muscle coming from the large number of cylinders in the engine. Normally, it's associated with 8-cylinder engines. The good old V8 engine. And Ford have recently brought out, as a lot of manufacturers have, they've gone into the electric car market. They've brought out an SUV, which is an electric. But for unfathomable reasons known only to Ford, they have put the Mustang name on it, and it's caused a lot of upset because it is not a Mustang. It is an electric SUV.
We are showing Christmas gifts at the moment,
right?
But we are not getting on our soapbox about cars. Okay, it's my turn.
Your turn, yes.
My turn. A lovely gift that Mr. Steve bought for me. Something that is... I'm not sure if it's useful, but it is something that relates to a video I'm going to show in a few moments. Now, earlier this year, as you saw in the video I just played, we went to the large safari park in a place called Bewdley. We've never been there before, and it was amazing. And we saw the most amazing animals. We saw some hippopotamus, we saw some lions, we saw a couple of tigers that were fast asleep. We saw quite a few different types of animal, but there was one animal that we were really happy to see, and I think you know which one it was, Mr. Steve. And look, this is what Steve bought for me as a way of remembering that wonderful day we had with the giraffes. And there you can see, look at that. So Mr. Steve has bought me this beautiful sculpture of a giraffe, and this will probably become part of my studio set. So isn't that great?
Yes, it's solid gold, Mr. Duncan.
It is. It is not
solid gold.
It isn't. It isn't. Just stop saying that, Steve. It is not solid gold. It's a kind of resin that has been sprayed gold, but it's beautiful. I have to say that is amazing. So that will go somewhere in my studio. I don't know where, but isn't that just the most amazing thing? I love it.
Lovely.
I really do love it. Someone said, "Is it made of chocolate?" It isn't.
Wow.
It isn't made of chocolate, because if it was, it wouldn't be here.
It could be made of chocolate and covered in gold foil.
Yes, but it isn't, because it wouldn't be here. It would be inside my tummy.
Instead, it's a solid gold giraffe.
So it's not
24 carat.
No, it isn't.
I know, I'm only joking.
No, well, say that you're joking.
Well,
instead
you'd have trouble lifting it if it was, Mr. Duncan.
Okay, it isn't. It's plastic, okay? For those.
I'll mention at this point
anyway,
as well.
Steve, can I just say thank you for the gift? You
Yeah,
keep
you've already
changing
thanked
the
me, yes.
subject.
You've already thanked me.
Yes, well, I'm thanking you again. Sometimes you have to say thank you more than once. So isn't this great? I love this. I think it's so amazing. Giraffes are amazing creatures. Hello. Hello. My name is Mr. Giraffe.
I'm Johnny. Johnny the giraffe.
Johnny the Giraffe. I like that. So there it is. Thank you, Mr. Steve. That is fantastic.
Both Christina and Palmyra, by the way, asked us about this safari. Was it dangerous? It wasn't, because we were in the car and etc., etc., and we were quite separated from the dangerous animals. But they've said they've both been on safaris, real safaris, Palmyra and Christina, and it was very scary. And I've got a friend who's been on several safaris, and she said she's had some very scary moments. So, yeah, it wasn't scary on this safari park. It was quite safe. Didn't ever feel unsafe at all. But I understand a real safari can be quite dangerous.
I think so. You do have to be careful. I have, if I can find it, where are we? Oh, yes, we have some giraffes coming up right now. We are going to take a quick break. So talking of the safari park that we went to, we did actually come face to face. In fact, Steve, we came very close to the giraffes, didn't we?
It was the most exciting thing I've seen for many years.
And guess what? You are about to see it as we get very close, or should I say the giraffe gets very close to us.
My God, it's walking right past the car. Its legs as tall as the car. It's coming round the like this. Hello. Hello. Legs. That is just incredible.
That is just so amazing. One of the most amazing interactions I think we've ever had with another creature. Quite memorable, would you say?
Absolutely. You don't realise how big they are till they suddenly walk past the car. I mean, their legs are just their legs are tall, twice as tall as the car. It was like coming across a dinosaur or something.
Well, that's what they remind me of. They remind me of dinosaurs. I think they are the only creature that is like that, with the very tall body, the very high neck. Everything about the giraffe reminds me of a dinosaur, for want of a better word. I think so.
And I don't think they were fully grown. Yes. Yes. Saturino says, I think these animals should live in their natural environment. Yes, I do agree. There are certain of the animals which just didn't look happy because you knew they didn't have enough space to move around in. The lions, I think, I would say, were badly off in that environment because they had a very small space.
They had a whole area, though.
Well, not as big as they would in the wild.
Yes, but the enclosure is quite big, to be honest. We only saw a small part of it, but the enclosure is actually huge. So there are other parts. You can go on a safari in a truck, and you can go through those areas where it is more open. So that then they are not mistreated. I want to say that because they're not. And of course, a lot of these animals are protected as well. So being there means they are protected, and a lot of breeding goes on in these types of places to allow the animals to thrive and survive, because we know there are some horrible people, I want to use a very bad, very naughty word to describe them, but there are people who go around just shooting animals like that for fun, just for sport, so they can take a picture.
Or for medicine from the horns and things like that, which obviously isn't good. I mean, it does. There is some case to be made for keeping some animals in captivity because at least they can breed. If they're endangered, then there is. But yes, I know what you mean. It's not. It's nice to be able to go and see it, but it's not their real environment.
Yes.
But it wasn't scary, but I can imagine a real safari would be scary.
I think also from an educational point of view as well, for people who are very young, maybe they've never seen animals close up like that. And I think it also gives a lot of young people a chance to actually see animals like that. So there is a lot to give back. But of course, as I said, the animals are not mistreated. They are kept in very, what I would call, natural surroundings. And to be honest with you, I think the giraffes quite enjoy it because they were coming up to the cars and they were looking into each car, weren't they, Steve, trying to find food.
Certainly it's a better environment than a zoo, where they really are stuck in small cages and small environments. A safari park is obviously a lot better than a zoo, but it's a shame that we have to have them at all, really.
Yes.
But there you go.
But without that, we would never have had such a close encounter with that giraffe. It was amazing.
And they were quite happy. You could tell that they were happy. They weren't unhappy. And some of them have been born there, so they don't know anything else. In fact, you couldn't put them in the wild because they wouldn't survive. Some of them, because they've actually literally been born in captivity.
Yes. This is the reason why you have animals like pandas and polar bears. Even in certain situations, they are in captivity, so they are kept in a place where their environment is reproduced, but they are able to live there safely without being hunted. Pandas are very lazy animals. They are so lazy they can't even be bothered to mate. And that's one of the reasons why. Did you know that? They're so lazy. They just have no interest in anything. They are so lethargic. And this is why for years and years many zoos, many places, especially in China, they keep trying to get the pandas to mate, and they won't. They're just too lazy to do it. It's great.
I know, because I think I've read some of it, because they're always eating. They have to eat certain leaves, don't they? The pandas. I can't remember which leaves they are now.
Eucalyptus.
Is it eucalyptus?
Bamboo.
Bamboo. That's it. The pandas eat bamboo. Is it koala bears that eat eucalyptus, isn't it? But they're so difficult to digest, and they have to spend so much time eating in order to get enough energy from these poor quality foods that they've adapted to specialise in eating, that they literally haven't got any energy to do anything else.
It makes them very sleepy, and they just can't be bothered to do anything.
There's a certain type of monkey that's a vegetarian that only eats vegetable matter, and it has to spend 95% of its time eating in order to get enough energy from the food. So, that is quite difficult. Whereas a lion, it just has to catch something, every few days or something, and there's enough energy in that one animal. It's eaten to last it for days and days, or even weeks.
Anyway,
that's the beauty of being at the top of the food chain, Mr. Duncan.
Anyway, we celebrated Christmas Day last week. Another gift. Mr. Steve, would you like to show another gift?
Shall I show? Which one? Do you want me to show you any particular one?
No, it's all right this time.
Okay, then. Here's something that Mr. Duncan bought me for my computer. This is, because at the moment because there's two ways of connecting your computer. You can have it wirelessly, or you can have it plugged in. And if you have it wirelessly, it's not quite as fast or effective.
That's it.
So Mr. Duncan has bought me this. It plugs into the mains, and then you have a plug at one end, a plug upstairs where I am with my computer, and then I can hardwire the computer in, and I do have much faster internet now, Mr. Duncan.
It's giving you a direct connection.
A direct connection.
But it goes through the electricity supply.
So you can buy these.
Yes.
And we can turn off the wireless, and I'm not going to worry about being irradiated by the wireless signals, which I know people will think is
again
a bit extreme, but I do worry about these things.
Okay, Steve, that's not what we're on about.
But that is the reason I wanted. That is one of the reasons, Mr. Duncan.
Also, the signal is a bit crap.
The signal is the Wi-Fi signal is bad upstairs.
Yeah.
And
anyway,
I prefer to have it wired indirectly. So thank you very much, Mr. Duncan. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
That's great. Can I just say that we're not one of those sort of nutcases. We're not nutcases that believe that everything is radiating into our brains just to make sure that you.
Well, I do.
Well, you do, yes, but then you're worried about everything, I suppose. Something that Mr. Steve bought for me, something that I was very pleased to get, and something that is useful for my studio as well. Look at this. Look what Mr. Steve bought for me. I was so surprised by this, I actually cried.
He did. I'm not joking.
It's not
he
very
screamed
often.
and then cried.
I don't cry very often over many things, but Mr. Steve bought me this beautiful set of wireless microphones that I can now use, and you can record directly onto the microphones themselves, and you can use them wirelessly. And there are two microphones. So Mr. Steve and myself, we will be able to have a microphone each when we are outside together, and that's quite good. Look at that. So again, thank you, Mr. Steve, for this, because I know this was not cheap.
Yes, I'm going to have to work for another year, Mr. Duncan, to pay off the debt incurred by buying you that gift. I'm joking.
Well, we're still paying off the Paris. We're still paying off the Paris rendezvous.
Are we?
Well, oh dear, Steve.
Well, you're in charge of that, so
yeah. Just say yes. Just say yes. We are. We're still paying off the Paris rendezvous. Anyway, Talking of which, oh, Mr. Steve, we had the Paris Rendezvous earlier this year. I did show a short video clip earlier. Would you like to see some of the actual live stream right now? So this is around about 4 minutes of the live stream. By the way, if you are right now celebrating the new year, because it has just turned 3 o'clock. In fact, it's coming up to 3 o'clock right now. There are some of you who might be celebrating the new year right now. So can I say Happy New Year? I think it's those in Japan at the moment will now be seeing in the new year. So
Well,
congratulations.
if you are on,
wow.
if you're on and it's New Year for you, let us know. We'll give you a special celebration and some fireworks.
Look at that.
And it'll be well worth you watching us at this pivotal moment.
Look at that. So we have some...
Mosen is in Japan. Happy New Year. Are you actually in Japan, Mosen?
No, I think he's saying in Japan it's now the new year.
Yes. Well, is there anyone watching from Japan?
I would imagine most people in Japan at the moment are waving their arms in the air and watching the fireworks. So I think so, to be honest. I think that's what's happening at the moment. We had the Paris Rendezvous, Steve. It was a very interesting experience, wasn't it?
It was absolutely wonderful. By the way, Christina, we're not staying on for 7 hours until it's midnight in Italy. I'm sorry.
That's a great idea, but...
It would be nice. It would be nice, but we'd just be exhausted.
Yes. So here we go then. We are now going to have a look at some of the live stream. We are going to relive the Paris Rendezvous, and we have about 3 clips. So this is going to give us a little bit of time to rest, to be honest. So whilst you are enjoying this, Mr. Steve is going to have a drink. I'm going to have a lie down on the floor and watch as we relive the wonderful moments from our Paris Rendezvous. This is not the whole thing. It is just a few excerpts. And then we will be back, Mr. Steve and myself. And I believe Steve has another Christmas present to show that I bought for him. So all of that coming up in a bit. But now we're going back in time to June the 11th, when we had our super duper Paris Rendezvous.
Bonjour, 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 bonjour from Paris. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope so. Look, I have brought some of my friends with me as well from YouTube. I'm going to try and remember all of your names. We have
Christina.
Luis Mendes.
Luis Mendes is here today. We have at the back, by the way, the very suspicious looking person at the back. That's Tomek. So if the gendarmes are watching at the moment, he's here. You're probably looking for him. This is where he is. So that's Tomek over there. And in front, the lady in red. Lady in red is dancing with me, cheek to cheek. It is Beatrice. Hello, Beatrice.
Hello, Mr. Duncan. Hi, everyone.
She's very excited. We had a pizza last night, and the pizza was bigger. It was larger than Beatrice. It was so big. It was a very big pizza, I have to say. And we also have
Patrick.
Say hello, Patrick. Patrick is here as well. He's come here on the train. Is that right? Yes. And we from a place called Us. My French is becoming very good, I have to say. C'est magnifique, as they say in French. And over here as well. Come on in a little bit. Here we go. Hello.
Hi, Francesca from Italy.
We have Italy, everyone. Italy is here as well. Francesca, who apparently, I've got to tell you this, it's a secret, but apparently Francesca wants to do my job. I think she wants to take over from me. Is that true? I think so. I think Francesca wants to do my job. Anyway, are you all happy to be here?
Yes!
That was rubbish. There are people 2 miles away who sound more excited than that. Are you excited to be here?
Yes!
That's better. The thunder has started. The rain is falling. Can you believe it? Just as I started today's live stream, it started to rain. It's almost as if the Almighty was watching and he said, Mr. Duncan, there's no way you're going to have a live stream without getting soaking wet. By the way, we've missed somebody out. There is a person missing, of course, and that is the man who every week comes on and causes so much trouble. There he is, look, with his lovely pink umbrella. Hello, Mr. Steve, I love your... Wait there.
It's not my umbrella. It's Francesca's umbrella.
Christina!
Christina.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Mr. Steve is useless at remembering names. And if you wanted an indication of how bad Mr. Steve's memory is, there it is. So, So, Steve, how have you enjoyed your time here in ever so gay Paris?
Well, I haven't seen much gay Paris yet, but it's been fantastic to be with you, Mr. Duncan, but particularly with all these wonderful, loyal supporters, the family that is the English Addict family. And these wonderful people, it's fantastic to meet you all. And it's just, I'm speechless. I'm speechless because it's just so wonderful to meet. It's just wonderful to meet you all. It's a dream. It's like a dream. Thank you.
I will be coming round with my hat afterwards to take donations. Behind us, by the way, you might notice a very large erection in the distance. Look at, isn't it big? It's very big. It's a very large one. It's the Eiffel Tower. Do you realise everyone else has gone into the shade to protect themselves from the sun?
Apart from Mr. Duncan, apart from Christina and Beatrice, who have braved the sun.
Hi!
So if you're just joining us, and wondering what this is and who these wonderful people are, these are Mr. Duncan's loyal followers for many years, that have travelled across Europe and across the world to get here. So if you haven't seen this already, Beatrice has come all the way from Buenos Aires.
14,000 kilometers.
14,000 kilometres, and Christina has come from
Genoa, Italia.
And just everywhere. It's just so exciting. I'm speechless with excitement, Mr. Duncan, at the fact that this has happened. Thank you.
Mr. Steve is speechless. He is without speech, which makes a nice change, really, when you think about it. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. It's been very different, hasn't it? Because normally you are sitting behind your computers or looking at your iPhones, and normally you are typing. But today, we're here. In reality, this is not AI. This is not a computer-generated picture. This is real human beings. I could reach out now, and I could touch Lewis.
We can touch
Mr. Duncan.
Thank you.
It's not a ghost town.
I am real. I'm a real person. I'm real. Honestly. That's it anyway, we will go. I think that is it. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's been very unusual meeting up today in Paris, and I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. Things will be back to normal next Sunday. We are back in the studio in boring Much Wenlock, and it will just be me and Mr. Steve in the studio. I'm sorry about that. I wish I could come back to Paris next week and spend another afternoon with you.
Ah, but Mr. Duncan, we will have to organise the next get-together trip. Which Rome or Rome? Pardon? England?
Yeah.
England?
A lot of people seem to want to meet in England.
Oh, wow.
England.
Oh.
England.
England. Everyone's saying England, which is great for me because I don't have to travel at all. I could just stay in bed. You want? Oh, I see.
My garden. I'm the gardener.
Mr.
Duncan just never goes in the garden apart from to sit down, and I bring him a drink.
This is like a character assassination right here now. I'm outnumbered. There's only one of me and lots of people picking on me almost. Thank you very much, Mr. Steve, for that.
I just wanted to clear up the fact that I do all the gardening, me.
Yes,
You do all the live streaming, and I do all the gardening.
I have to say, Steve, I think we all know that now. So Steve is the gardener and sometimes the cook, and I'm the entertainment, you might say. So have you had a good time?
Yes.
Well, that doesn't sound very convincing. I'm not convinced by that. We'll try that again, shall we? Have you had a good time?
Yes.
Okay, there's a man with a giant gun coming over here now.
Mr. Duncan paid for it.
What did he pay for?
What did I pay for?
10 euros.
Oh, I see.
Person.
I think the suggestion is that none of these people know me or watch my live streams, and I've just paid lots of strangers from the general public to come here and pretend. That's exactly what I've done. I don't know any of these people. I'm just giving them euros, and then they say nice things about me. Isn't that lovely? Anyway, it's time to go. Thank you very much, boys and girls. Thank you very much. It's been amazing.
I'm going to give pay now, Mr. Duncan.
Oh.
I will pay everyone. Or card.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you, whatever your name is.
Thank you, lady in red.
Thanks.
Oh,
Thanks to Paris.
yes. Paris has been a great host. I have to say one thing. Now, I know I joke about things sometimes, and you might think, Mr. Duncan, you rude man. But I have to say I am impressed with how friendly people are here. The French people are friendly, polite, courteous. If you cross the road, they will always stop for you. And if you are...
Thank you for the Parisians, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Well, I'm patient for most of the time, unless, of course, Mr. Steve is annoying me, in which case I'm not very patient at all. We will see you next week, and thank you very much. I don't want to end this, to be honest. I wish we could just do this live stream forever.
Could we do the tutorial for now together?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Shall we do
yes.
that? Because at the end of all of my live streams and lessons over the past 17 years, I always say, ta-ta for now. Today we are going to do it together. So this is Mr. Duncan and everyone else
Strangers.
here in Paris saying thanks for watching. See you again soon. Take care of yourselves, please. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming up next. A lot of people shouting. Ta-ta for now. See you soon. Bye-bye.
And there it was. I hope you enjoyed that. A little excerpt from our wonderful time we had in Paris. Not only myself, but also Mr. Steve and, well, I suppose you might say all of the gang. English Addict, New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve 2023. A new year is just around the corner. A little bit later, we are looking at New Year's resolutions. Quite often at this time of year, people will make plans. They will make plans for themselves, normally personal plans, something that they intend to do, normally as a way of making their lives better, or to improve a certain aspect of their lives, I think it is fair to say. I wonder if Mr. Steve has any, and I definitely, well, I have one or two New Year's resolutions, and maybe we can share some of those later on. It was a wonderful time, wasn't it, Steve?
Some lovely comments, lots and lots of lovely comments on the live stream about that visit. Marcia Helena Miranda Cardozo Podesta,
Wow.
says that she has to go now. Huge kiss for everyone. I only wanted to read that one out because I wanted to say your name, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. But yes, some lovely comments.
You did a good job. You did a good job of that, Steve.
Yeah, well, only Marcia can tell me. Well, Beatrice could as well, or anyone who speaks sort of Spanish type languages.
Spanish type. What's a Spanish type language?
Latin. Let's say Latin.
Okay.
But yes, but the question is, where are we going to go this year? Yeah, that's the big question. But we've got to start planning, Mr. Duncan, because you know what happens if you don't plan. That's one of our New Year resolutions.
Yes. Well, let's talk about that a little bit later on, because now we have one more gift from last week. Christmas Day was last Monday, and I bought you something that you had asked for a couple of times in the past, and I knew you wanted this, so I've been saving up to buy Mr. Steve's gifts all year. I've been putting a little bit of money aside so I can buy Mr. Steve something nice. And this is something I know you wanted, because the strange thing is Mr. Steve is very interested in this particular aspect of his daily life. So tell us all about it, Steve.
Well, I like to know what the temperature is. I like monitoring the weather. I got that from my father. Who was very good at that, and I like to be able. I like to know what the temperature is inside and outside. And I have had one of the remote temperature devices before, but it broke a long time ago. And but Mr. Duncan has bought me something that I've already set up. It's a weather station, a multifunction weather station. That means I can monitor, well, it shows me the time, but it shows me the temperature inside the house, but also at 3 separate places that I choose to put it around the house. So but what I've done is the 3 separate little monitors here, and it connects or it connects with this device inside, and you can see what the temperature is. And I've put it one outside, one in the garage, and one up in the loft. So I can at any time I can just look and say, oh, what's the temperature? I know it sounds silly, but I just like to do this because I used to, have a sort of scientific background, and for some reason I just like to know. I just like looking at it, and I've set it up. It works very well. So thank you, Mr. Duncan.
That's okay.
I can, when it's getting cold, I'll be able to see if the pipes are about to freeze up in the loft, because I'll be able to see if it says minus something up in the loft. I'll have to act pretty quickly to prevent us having a flood. But yes, like to monitor things in a scientific way like that. So it tells me the temperature and the humidity, and I'm just fascinated by it, I'm afraid.
Well,
It sounds like an odd thing to want as a present, but
See,
I do like it.
I don't think it is odd because obviously they manufacture those particular devices for people to use in their homes. So I think a lot of people are interested, especially if they have a room. Maybe they need to keep the temperature at a certain level, or maybe certainly when the winter comes, because as you said, quite often the water pipes might freeze up and sometimes they will burst and you won't know. And then when you do find out, it's too late because your house is flooded. So maybe a certain room in the house you can keep.
Ooh.
You can monitor the temperature all the time.
Giovanni has one of these.
Yeah.
But I only have one separate unit. Well, yes, the last one I had before that broke probably about 3 years ago, it only had one unit. But this one's got three, so Mr. Duncan, he did a good job, didn't he?
It took me a long time to find that, by the way.
Yes, and it works perfectly. It even connects to the time. It adjusts the time automatically. So there was very little setting up to do. Of course, as these devices come out, new ones, they become easier to use. So I don't know how much that cost. It looks very expensive, Mr. Duncan, but thank you very much. And I'll always know what temperature it is. I should have brought it down. I could have showed you what temperature it is in all different parts.
I
of
would
the
say
house.
you are worth it, Mr. Steve. Definitely.
You're right, I am.
Christina makes a very good point. All of your gifts are technological. Yes.
Yes.
So I have some technology from Mr. Steve for my studio, my lovely new wireless microphones. I actually used one of those yesterday to record my New Year's Eve message, which is available on my YouTube channel right now. And I bought Mr. Steve some technology as well to help with his Wi-Fi connection so he doesn't have to use it anymore, and also so he knows how warm it is in.
Saturino has from her father an old humidity gauge.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because I've got one, and maybe I'll show that in a future lesson. But I have an old style. My father had one. He hung it up in the hallway, and it's an old analog gauge. And it shows you the pressure and what the weather's going to be and the humidity and the temperature. And you can give it a little tap and the needle moves, showing you which direction. Yeah.
Old-fashioned barometer.
An old-fashioned barometer. That's the word, Mr. Duncan. And it has a humidity gauge in it as well. And it's been working for 60 years. And it will probably go on working forever.
Yes.
Whereas these electronic ones, probably in 2 or 3 years it'll break and I'll have to buy a new one.
It certainly is a very scientific device, but many houses used to have them. So I remember growing up in the 70s, and lots of houses did have these large barometers hanging on the walls, normally in the hallway, so they would know whether to take their umbrella with them to work. Ooh.
Exactly, and these will go on forever. So I look forward to sharing with you temperatures around where we live.
Of course, this year has been a busy year, hasn't it, Steve? Something else happened, didn't it? Something else.
Oh, yes, of course.
Something else.
I'm not quite sure what it was. What was it, Mr. Duncan?
What was it? What did we do this year?
I don't know.
Did we do something this year?
We did do something, didn't we? What was it? What was it, Mr. Duncan? I don't know. I can't remember.
No. I think my brain has almost erased it completely.
What's that doing on my finger?
Yes,
I don't know.
We did do something else this year. So we decided to tie the knot, to get hitched to become legal, as it were. So that's what we did. We did it the day before my birthday. So whenever it is my birthday, we know the day before will be the anniversary of this thing being put onto my finger. And I, to be honest, I can't get it off. I think Mr. Steve has glued it onto my finger so I can't escape.
How many years is it, Mr. Duncan? 34?
34 years.
That's it. I don't like wearing a ring. It annoys me. But then I've never liked any jewellery. Because I must have very sensitive skin, Mr. Duncan. Such a sensitive soul. That I could, necklaces, bracelets, rings, even a watch. I don't even like wearing a watch. I'm always aware of it. I don't know why, but that's just me. But I'll wear it for you, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, that's nice. So we did that in August, and that was fun as well. It was quite a good time. We had an interesting time with that. We also, well, I did. We kind of did it together, but I did this thing on my own, if that makes sense. We went to London because Steve had an important meeting, and I decided to go off on my own, and I actually made a lesson in London. And I have a feeling there might be lots of people who've never actually seen this lesson, but I did make a lesson where I was walking around London. I was doing lots of things. In fact, you might see it playing in the background now. So there it was, the video that I made in London. I think it was around, when was it, Steve? Around September?
It would have been September, yes. Absolutely, it would have been September, Mr. Duncan.
So I did some filming around London. I have to say it was rather interesting. Now, I was worried about doing it, but I have to say once I arrived in London and I started filming, I felt quite relaxed. In fact, you might see in a moment just how relaxed I was because I was doing some filming. I went to Trafalgar Square and also here in Piccadilly Circus, one of the busiest areas in London. So this is where I was doing some of my filming. You might even see me in a few moments appearing on the screen if we wait long enough. And I have to say it's been many years since I went to London, and I did start to not like the thought of going to London. But in fact, I have to say, I did enjoy it. And there I am, right there in Piccadilly Circus. And I did have a good time. I have to say, I enjoyed it. And I would love, this is what I would love to do, Steve. I would love if we could go there together and do maybe a live stream from London. What do you think?
Yes. Well, why not, Mr. Duncan? You can do a live stream wherever you like. Did you do one? You did a live stream, didn't you, while you were there?
I did. I did a live stream from outside the Houses of Parliament across from Westminster Bridge.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yes, by the way, Lewis is saved up or is saving up for a potential meetup this year.
Oh.
So we've got to do it now because Lewis is already saved up for it. So
my goodness. So wherever it may be, we're not sure. It might be London, although we're not very keen on that, are we? Because for us it won't be a break. So I think it would be lovely if it was a break for everyone, a change of scenery. So at the moment we have thought of a couple of places. We're not going to say where just yet because it might cause some confusion. So we don't want people booking tickets just yet. So we haven't decided, but as soon as we know, we will let you know as well on the live chat. So don't worry about it.
I know it's going to be exciting. I think the whole year will revolve around this. Maybe we could go to several countries. I don't know. Maybe one, maybe two. Maybe
Ooh.
we could go to more.
I'm not sure about that.
But yes, I think it'll probably have to be within Europe,
Yes.
at least this time. We may go further afield in the future, but it's going to be very exciting. And wherever we are, we will do a live stream, and there will be lots of excitement. Somebody mentioned earlier that we took the English weather with us to Paris. I can't remember who said that now, but I thought that was quite a funny comment to make.
It was a bit like that because, well, it started raining, and then when the live stream started, suddenly the sun came out and it was lovely. So it was very strange. Oh, by the way, can I just wish your sister happy birthday for tomorrow? And this is quite incredible. Your sister has her birthday on the 1st of January. And we're
That's
going
right.
over tomorrow. We're going over to see Mr. Steve's sister, aren't we?
We are. Yes, it's a special age. We won't say what it is.
No.
Let's say it's a round number. By the way, Mustafa, yes, we've been together 34 years, and we decided that we would finally tie the knot. So yeah, thanks for asking. But yes, hello from China. We've got somebody watching us from China, Mr. Duncan. That's very rare because we know it's difficult for you to break out, so to speak.
Yes.
And get to see us. So hi, hello.
Hello, a big ni hao to you, and I suppose you have already had your New Year's celebrations as well. So I would imagine it's already 2024 in China. It's not here yet. We have to wait a few more hours before we can have our New Year. But congratulations, and yes, I hope you enjoy today's live stream watching from China, a place that I know quite well because I used to live there. Your sister gave us the most amazing card, and I didn't show it last week, so I'm going to put things right now. And this is a lovely Christmas card, and if you look at it, it's 3-dimensional. I've never seen a card like this before. Isn't that amazing?
I know.
A beautiful card, and if you open it, it turns into a 3-dimensional picture. So you can actually look at the picture and you can go into it. So as I move my camera around, you can see that it's actually 3-dimensional. Isn't that wonderful? So can I say thank you to Janice for your lovely Christmas card? Absolutely amazing. I think it's one of the most unusual Christmas cards I've ever received, if I was honest with you.
Yeah, because it seems like a normal card when you get it, and then it suddenly springs open, as you say, into this 3-dimensional form, which is very beautiful.
In fact, we did receive quite a few Christmas cards, and we did show them last Monday. So if you didn't see last Monday's live stream, last Sunday, which was Christmas Eve, we did show many of our Christmas cards, just in case you did not see it. Wonderful. And I'm looking forward tomorrow to seeing your sister and helping her celebrate her birthday on January the 1st. Imagine that. And I think that's is that the reason why her name is Jan?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That is the reason, I think.
It's like my older sister. My older sister is called April. Can you guess when she was born?
Yes, there's only certain names, aren't there, that are the same or very similar to the months. I don't think there's one. I don't know. Maybe August. You could be Augustus.
Yes.
You could be Augustus, couldn't you? A nice Roman name.
May.
Jan. So we've had Jan. Is there one for February?
No.
There should be.
No, I don't think there's any names that match any of the other months.
April. Yeah, so we've got Janice for January. March is the one for March. No, April, May, Augustus maybe. But that's not a popular name these days, is it?
I always think of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because Augustus was I think he was the fat kid who ended up falling into the chocolate machine, and he gets stuck in the chocolate machine. I think that's him, isn't it? Augustus Glump or something like that.
I've never known anyone called Augustus. Maybe it's popular in Italy. I don't know. It may be. Maybe somebody could tell us. Maybe Christina could tell us, or Francesca.
I think so.
Or anyone who is watching. My brain's getting fried. Giovanni could tell us whether Augustus is a popular name. I suppose if your name was Jesus, that would definitely be associated with December.
Yeah. Well, you might be surprised that it is actually a very popular name in certain parts of the world.
Yes.
The name Jesus, or sometimes I think it's Jesus as well. Some people use that particular phrase. But yes, it is. There are many Jesus named people around the world. Steve, we are going to take one last look at the safari park that we visited this year, and then we are going to talk about New Year's resolutions.
Yes, we want to know what your resolutions are, so get ready to put them on the live chat.
Get ready.
And we will hold you to them.
So what are your New Year's resolutions? What are your plans? We will show you some of ours, and you can show us some of yours. Oh dear, there it was. And we had a great time. West Midlands Safari Park is the name of the place. That's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
You are... Oh, wait there, Steve. Wait there a minute. It's just me at the moment.
Oh, right, okay.
It's okay. That was good. Did you enjoy that moment of time? For those who are wondering, English Addict is with you today, New Year's Eve. We are live at the moment for about another 20 minutes. If you are celebrating the new year, can I say Happy New Year to you? I hope you have a super duper Happy New Year wherever you are watching in the world. Of course, we also have, here he is. You can say something now, Steve. Honestly.
No, I'm back. Yes, we've already got people putting their New Year's resolutions in. Inaki says, my only resolution is that I'm not going to make any resolutions.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
I think it is good because, the thing is, lots of people make New Year's resolutions, and I've made them over the years, but how many of them do you actually stick to? And this is the problem. Is it actually worth making any or not? Because unless you're very, very dedicated and very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, motivated,
then probably you will forget about them quite quickly as soon as you go back to work. So maybe you could make, I think the answer is to make maybe one. Because you can, at any time of the year, you can decide you want to do something.
Yes.
You don't have to do it now and put that pressure on yourself. Maybe you could say one thing that might be a short-term goal, because that's the trouble with lots of long-term goals, is that they're difficult to achieve because they often require lots of steps in between to get to the big goal that you're after. And we've discussed this in previous run-ups, and when we've talked about New Year's resolutions, is that the bigger the goal, probably the more steps you're going to have to break it down. It's going to need a lot of planning to get to. But if it's something worthwhile and something you want to do, it is worth doing.
Normally, what people tend to do at this time of year, they think of two things. They think of their own personal happiness, so maybe something that they are happy with or maybe unhappy with. Quite often it's the latter. And we often think of things like health. So it's normally things that we are doing that we feel are not good for us, things we feel that are bad for us, maybe overeating. And let's face it, that's what we do at this time of year. I know we have. We were eating cheese last night, Mr. Steve and myself, as if cheese was about to vanish from the planet. We were eating it. It's because it's so lovely. But now I realise that I am once again going to have to lose a bit of weight. I have put some weight on over the past couple of weeks. And now I have to lose it again. So we often think of health, don't we, Steve?
Very common for, there are certain companies that specialise in helping people lose weight, like Slimmers World, for example, is a popular one in the UK, and their classes will be full. They must be rubbing their hands together in January. The health spas, the health clinics, the gyms, because people suddenly sign up because they want to get healthy. It's a New Year's resolution. They might say, I want to lose weight. Or they might say, well, I'm going on holiday in July. I want to lose so much weight by then. And that's good to have something, a goal to reach for. And I think that's the thing with New Year's resolutions. It's too easy to be very vague with them. And I think you have to be very precise with, because they are goals in effect, aren't they?
Yes.
New Year's resolutions are, in fact, things you want to achieve. They're goals, just like in work. And you have to be specific in how you write these out. And you have to say by a certain time. It has to be quite precise. It's no good just to say, I want to lose weight. Well, that's not a very achievable goal. How much do you want to lose and by when? And then that focuses it in the mind.
I think so. I think you're right. Yes. That is That is a good point. So when we think of resolutions, quite often they are personal things, some sort of personal improvement or growth that we want to actually make real during the following year. And I think it is a good thing as long as you can actually do it, as long as you can actually carry that thing out. But quite often, as you know, the best laid plans of mice and men fairly rarely come to fruition. And that's what happens normally at this time of year. So I suppose I have a couple of New Year's resolutions that I'm going to share with you. One of them, in fact, it's one I've already started acting on, and that is not worrying so much about the things you cannot change. Don't worry about what you can't change. So this is probably something I'm going to continue from this year into the new year. Don't worry about what people think. Sometimes we think too much, or we overthink about what others are thinking about us, and sometimes we can be completely wrong about it. We might think that a person hates us or dislikes us, and yet they might have no opinion whatsoever. So it is easy to overthink, and I have over the past 3 or 4 months started to relax more and more, to try and focus on the future instead of letting the past dominate my life. I'm sure a lot of people are like this, Steve.
No, absolutely. I think, Christina has touched on it, and so has Patrick, by saying, Patrick said, my best resolution is living in the moment. Now, this is something that I am very bad at. I'm always living up in my head, and my imagination is... I'm always somewhere else. Mr. Duncan's always complaining that I'm not in the moment. He's talking to me, or we're going for a walk, but I'm thinking of something else, something I want to do, maybe work, maybe a tune's going over in my head, maybe a conversation I had with somebody that is making me angry, and that's very bad for you. Living in the moment. And I know people. I've had friends, and I have got friends who live in the moment. Absolutely, and I like being around them because it's very refreshing to be with somebody who is noticing things, who is enjoying life, because you can only enjoy this moment, can't you? Mm-hmm. We've only got this moment, like now on this live stream. This is all we've got. This is reality. And if we can't live in it, which is why I like being on the live streams, because I can only be in the moment.
Yes.
I cannot be doing anything else or thinking, because you'd all notice that I wasn't here. So I do like the live streams because I can be living. I am literally living in this second.
Yes.
And I cannot do anything else. And that then relaxes your mind when you're only focusing on one thing instead of maybe thinking about, I've got to do that tomorrow. There's a tune going over in your head, and then you're having a conversation with somebody else that you had an argument with the other day. You can have 2, 3 or more things going on at the same time. That creates stress in your head. But if you're doing just one thing, like this live stream now, or having a conversation with somebody, you automatically relax as long as you're not arguing in that moment, because you're just focusing on that one thing. Yes. And all your energy is concentrated on that. So thank you for that, Patrick, and also Beatrice mentioned that as well. And that is what my resolution is that, to live in the moment, to enjoy life, because losing friends and losing relatives makes you realise that you need to enjoy life and live in the moment, because you don't know how much time you've got left.
Yeah. Well, it's like the old cliche, life is short, and it is.
And you don't want to regret things that you haven't done.
Inaki asks, has someone ever measured how long the average resolution lasts? Now, if I had to guess, I would say for the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks of January. So I would imagine a lot of people give up their resolutions before the end of January. And then some might continue for a few weeks, but then slowly that resolution starts to disappear. The thing they were doing starts to stop, basically.
The other thing I want to do is stop worrying about things I have got no control over. If control what you can control, and stop worrying about things you can't control.
Yes.
Like what other people are saying about you. Or there are certain things that, something happens and you don't like it. There's maybe some action you can take to change it, but there are lots of things that you can't change. Like the past. You can't change the past. The past is the past. It's happened. Worrying about it. I know it's easy to say, but this is what I want to try and achieve, is stop worrying what other people think of me, live in the moment, and just enjoy life more.
Well, the one thing that I remember last year, at the end of last year, we made a resolution for this year, and that was to travel more and experience more things. And in a way, we've done that. So
yes.
I would like to announce right now that we did manage to achieve at least one of our resolutions from last year, which was to see more of the world and have our lovely rendezvous with our viewers. And we are hoping to do the same thing again in 2024. So we will keep you up to date as soon as we know what is happening with the 2024 rendezvous. Are you excited now?
I am.
I have to say, my tummy is going over and over with excitement, I have to say. So we did that. We did manage to keep to at least one of our resolutions from this year.
And I think it's a lot of people do say you've got to be careful. I think as well, live in the moment. But you have to plan to a certain extent for the future.
Yes.
Not miles in the future. There's only, I know in business, it's very difficult to plan, anything beyond sort of a few years. There's so many variables, it's almost impossible to plan. But you can certainly plan short-term things. You need to plan some things, otherwise you won't achieve anything. You can't just only live in the moment and just enjoy life all the time. You have to have some goals, something you want to change, something to work towards. Just enjoying life, living more in the moment, and stop worrying about things that have happened in the past that I can't change.
Yes.
And things that I've got no control over. Like I got very upset about going to see a customer just before Christmas, and I turned up there. It was a long way to travel, and they weren't there. They'd forgotten I was going. I got very annoyed and upset about it, but I shouldn't have done because it's beyond my control. But actually, it probably was. I probably could have phoned up first. But yeah, that's just a small example.
Yes.
But anyway, that's me.
Leave the past behind, because the past is the past, especially things that have caused you maybe heartache or difficulty or anger, some sort of strong emotional response that was negative. Try to leave it behind. And I always think the new year is a good opportunity to do that. You can leave the old year behind. So if things didn't go as planned, you have a whole new year to play with. And I think that's the best way of looking at it, to be honest.
And Archie makes a good point. A long-term planning for the long term is difficult, but short-term is much easier because you've got more control over events.
Yes.
I mean, it's impossible to predict what's going to happen 5 years down the road. It's just impossible. I mean, you might plan for something, but then all sorts of other things will crop up along the way.
Yes.
That will probably make it impossible.
Well, I think
but-
if 2020 has taught us anything, when the pandemic came around and everything went crazy, if there's one thing that has taught us is you never quite know what's coming next.
You never know what's coming next. And Rosa makes a good point here. Living in the moment reduces anxiety. And that's very true. If you're always living up here, thinking about things, and what can happen is that you can, and I do this a lot, is that you end up in a fantasy world. You're not living in reality, you're living in a fantasy world.
Yes.
And it's quite dangerous, and that causes anxiety. So you're absolutely right there. I think that's the secret to it.
If the things you are imagining are negative things, then your body will react as if it's real.
Yeah, because exactly. If you're having arguments with people in your head, your brain thinks it's actually happening, and it reacts accordingly with stress and anxiety. So yes, it's very dangerous. That's something I want to really try and control this year a bit better.
Well, in a few hours, you will have the chance to do that because the new year is just around the corner and we are about to say goodbye. So
we are.
2 hours.
2 hours. There's one thing you do need to plan long term for is your financial future, and you can do that, but we won't get into that. But that is something you cannot ignore.
Yes. Yeah. All I can say is I hope your New Year's plans go well. I hope your resolutions come true. Yes. However long you stick at them or you stay doing them. I hope you have a super duper time. It's almost time to say goodbye. Can you believe it? We've been here for 2 hours talking to you on New Year's Eve 2023. A new year is just around the corner. Are you excited?
I am, and I can safely say that I've been living in the moment for the last 2 hours. I often say to you, don't I, Mr. Duncan, that I might be feeling quite stressed and anxious, but then when I come on the live stream, by the time it's finished, it's all gone because I've been focusing on one thing and living in the moment.
It is a great distraction.
It really is.
And yes, I agree with some of the lovely comments today. Creekoy Stories says there are many good people in the world to counteract the bad people. Well, I always say that. The bad people, the evil people, the wicked people, the murderers, the robbers, the people who want to destroy other people's lives, they are always the minority. They are. Most people want to have a quiet life, a safe life. Maybe they just want to take care of their family. They want to have a simple existence. They don't want anything too complicated, which is great. And that is the majority. Most people want peace. Most people want simplicity in their life, nothing too complicated. And that is the average person. So whatever the television or the news tells you, all they are doing is exaggerating the minority, the small things that happen. Most people are lovely, nice, kind, generous. They think of others. Maybe they try to better themselves in some way to make their life better, and maybe they feel as if they want to give something back. And I think that is a good reason for doing anything.
Yes, Crikey Stories. Associate yourself with the good people, and they're all on this live stream.
Yeah, it is true. There is niceness everywhere. Nice things exist all over the place.
Yeah, and the community on English Addict are all lovely people, and that's why we like doing it and why we like to associate with you all, and we hope you feel the same.
Yeah, we love it. We love doing it, and we will continue doing it throughout the new year 2024 and onwards into the future. Oh, we're not with you tomorrow because we are celebrating Mr. Steve's sister's birthday tomorrow. Isn't that lovely? Oh, by the way, I think some other people are now entering the new year. So if you are entering the new year right now, I will put some fireworks underneath. There we go. So if you are celebrating the new year, we have just passed 4 o'clock. So in some countries, it is now the new year. Isn't that great?
It is.
So if it is your 2024 moment, Happy New Year to you. That's it, Steve. It's time to say goodbye.
And Happy New Year when it arrives.
Yes. We have about another, how long? How long would you say? It says
8 hours.
8 hours. We have to wait for another 8 hours before the new year arrives. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Take care of yourselves. We've had a great year with you, and we don't have to say anything else, really. There's nothing else to say, I don't think, if I was honest with you, because I think we've pretty much said everything there is to say. More English Addict for you during 2024. More lessons, more live streams, more everything. Thank you, Mr. Steve, for being with us as well, giving up your time for free, just as I do. So everything you see here is free. It's free of charge. And if you want to make a donation, you are more than welcome to do so. I will put it on the screen very quickly. I know some people get annoyed by this, but this helps my work continue forever and ever and ever. So if you want to make a donation, you can. That's it, Steve. We are off now to see the new year arrive slowly.
Thank you all for your lovely messages of good wishes for Happy New Year. Thank you for all your lovely wishes on there, on the live chat. And see you in 2024.
There are so many things I want to say at the moment, but I know I will become quite emotional if I do. Thank you very much. See you soon. And of course, on behalf of myself and Mr. Steve, Happy New Year. And of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Enjoy your New Year's Eve and have a super duper 2024. And of course, until the next time we meet, are you ready, Steve?
I'm ready.
You know what's coming next. Ta-ta
Ta-ta for now.
Happy New Year.